Maple Leaf Muscle. This is episode number 3 with your host, IFBB Pro Johnny Shreve and IFBB Pro Robin Strand. What's going on, Johnny?
Not much, man. Just getting ready to be a dad. Just finished up getting the nursery finished. Painted a cute little mural for my little baby girl, Selena. We got a nice little. Her first name means moon, so we got a moon, some stars, a name going through it. One side of it where crib is like kind of like a little night blue. Other side, her middle name means sun, which is Leanna. So the other side is yellow. We're gonna put a little bit of sun and stuff on that side. So been busy doing that while my wife is constantly getting bigger and bigger by the hour. So and then training, obviously off-season training has been really good. Making some really good gains. I'm really happy with training with Matt Jansen in the off-season right now. So other than that, just getting ready to be a dad and putting some muscle on.
Awesome, man.
How about you, man?
It's been good, man. Like, feeling stronger than ever. My weight's going up slowly. I've been working with Justin Compton, and he's been giving me a pretty solid diet that I've been following. And I always like having something very strict to follow because, you know, coming from like an eating disorder, it's good to have something to follow religiously. And even for myself, you know, I don't mind having cheat meals, but he hasn't given me really any yet. So I'm like, whatever, that's cool. I'm staying lean, which is great. And I feel really good, which is probably the first time I've felt like this good in an off season.
Sweet.
And yeah, nothing bad to say at all right now. So
yeah, I mean, it's the same way for me. It's this is my first structured off season. You know, actually following a plan to a T. You know, meal prepping. Like I prepped last time. You know, other off seasons, but there was more so recovering, and then, you know, I'll be eating maybe like 60% clean, 40% real shitty, and then, you know, not being, you know, not training the way I'm training now. I kind of put on a little more, you know, fluff in the off season. This year, it's my first year actually, you know, following a structured off season where the plan is to gain muscle, which is good. So I think it's good to have structure because it's almost like you're training yourself to be better at dieting or following a plan in the off season. So I put it this way: if you can't follow a diet when you're hungry, good luck doing it when you're not. You know, if you're hungry, it's easier. It's easier to just fall off when you're not hungry. So if you're in a calorie surplus and you can't handle, you know, being in control when you have food, good luck doing it when you're dieting. So.
yeah, I completely agree. And also I've noticed that in the past, you know, having maybe too many cheat meals, you start to lose your appetite like completely. So now you want to eat more junk food because it tastes good, it's easy to get down. You could easily crush burgers all day, but then you try to go back to your clean food and it's like, oh man, this is really hard to eat. But just eating clean food, it's like no problem. You're kind of just on that, you know, you're on your little diet and I'm eating 7 meals right now, so it's good. Because I'm actually hungry for food right now. So
good. So today, guys, we have our Olympia preview coming up. We're a little bit under 7 weeks for the Olympia. This is a very exciting Olympia for the Canadians this year. I find that there's a lot of Canadians competing and in really good roles to do well this year, which is awesome. Right from, you know, bodybuilding all the way down to physique. So. Most of the Canadian athletes that are qualified have either had to win shows or had to earn points. So I just want to kind of go over the point system with you guys because a lot of people really don't know or understand how it works. So before this year, you had to, you know, anybody who won a show qualified for a show. Doesn't matter what tier it was. So there's different kind of tier system for each show. So you're looking at the Arnold Classic as a tier 1 show. The Arnold Classic, Australia, Pittsburgh Pro, New York Pro, Tampa Pro, Prague Pro, that's a tier 2. The Toronto Pro, Chicago Pro, Vancouver, and Kuwait Pro is a tier 3. And then any other show outside of that are tier 4. So each show will give you a certain amount of points for placing. So if your class or your division only has 25 shows in less a year, if you win a show, you win. So any show that's 25 or less divisional contests in 2018, top 5 from the Olympia, from 2017 Olympia, qualify for Olympia. the winner of each contest qualifies for Olympia, and then the top 3 in points. So point system goes by. So just to give you an idea of points, if you do the Arnold Classic as a bodybuilder and you come second, you get 10 points. If you do the Arnold Classic Australia and come second, you get 8 points, and then it goes and so on. For each tier goes on by about 2 points, and that's in each placing. So they made it so you have to compete. So if you have 25 shows and less, you have to win your show, and then you have to get points. If you have 25 shows and more, it's by points only, but the top 5 from last year's Olympia qualify automatically, and then they take the top 25 placings in points. So if you're a bikini, men's physique, figure, I'm pretty sure those ones have, I know for sure those ones have more than 25. I know bodybuilding has 25 less, 212 has 25 less, and I'm pretty sure that classic physique has 25 shows and less. So each one of those shows automatically get placed in the get qualified, and then the remainder, the top 3 in points, get up there as well. And if you're bikini, figure, physique, you have to basically win by points. So if you want to show you're not in, you have to win points. So just to give you an idea of how the point system works for those classes are, the Olympia, the Arnold Classic obviously is a tier 1, same tier system as before. But if you win first place, if you get first place, 20 points, second place, 10 points, third place, 9 points. Tier 2, first place, 16 points, second place, 8 points, third place, 7 points. And it goes to, to top 5 placings, and then so forth. So the better show you do and the higher you place, obviously the more points you get. And it just makes you have to compete more. The thing is before you're getting 30 bikini competitors on stage. You're getting a lot of athletes on stage that not necessarily saying they didn't deserve to be there, but certain shows do way more than others, and they just want to have your top 25 or top 20 athletes instead of having 30 guys on stage, which doesn't kind of make any sense. You want the best. This is the Olympia. The best of the best should be there. Some people have argued that if you don't win a show, you shouldn't be doing the Olympia, which I think it's not that fair if it was that way, because someday you can be first place on one day and second place the next day. So the system's pretty good for everybody. I think that it forces guys to compete more, and it makes things a lot more competitive. Because this year, just competing, I was competing against maybe the same maybe eight, 9 guys that have been in Olympia 3 shows in a row. So these guys want their places and want to place. So that's how this tier system works. Other than that, Canada's done really well. Most guys have qualified, and we're gonna flop back and forth and just let you guys know who's qualified for the show and who needs to earn points to get themselves in position to qualify for the Olympia. So you take it with bodybuilding, and I'll go the rest.
Okay, so obviously Ian Valliere is now qualified because he won the Big Man Show weekend, which is pretty hype for everyone in Canada because he is now the first Canadian in a while to get onto the Olympia stage in the Open.
Yeah.
The last guy we've had on the stage was Ben Pekulski.
Yeah.
And Ian looks really, really good. Like, he won that show pretty easily. Like, it was like all straight first.
Yeah.
So that's pretty hype for him. I'm sure he's really hyped. And we're definitely going to be supporting him. So that's cool.
Yeah, I was just talking to Ian the other day, and I was just like, you have a good shot at, it's not like Ian just won the show and he's gonna go up there and get blown away. Ian's gonna go to the show and he's gonna do very well. Top 10. He can definitely get into that top 10 placement because his conditioning is next level. His conditioning is, he's the elite. So, and he's just been getting better each show. So just his consistency is what's gonna really, really, really put him in the right position. Plus, he's got good, he's big. He's dry, it's Ian Valliere, so it's we're stoked on that for sure.
And the thing with Ian is now he hasn't been compared, as far as I know, to guys like Cedric McMillan, Steve Kuklo, Charles Griffin. Maybe he has been compared to Charles Griffin, but not Steve Kuklo, I don't think.
Yeah, Steve, he did this year. Steve took first at the Indy. Charles took second, and Ian, I think, took top 5. I don't know if he placed third or not, but that show. They've been compared to before then, but not the other guys. There's some You know,
Yeah, there's like maybe five he hasn't been on stage with
yeah,
that I think he'll look good against because of his conditioning.
yeah. I told him that too. Like if they, if he's judged fairly, um, it's conditioning first and foremost. Obviously you're not going to get to the Olympia with being, undersized. Undersized guys don't make it to Olympia. You get there on
Yeah,
muscularity, fullness, and being super super dry and shredded. And there's some guys that made it to the Olympia that their conditioning hasn't been, up to snuff. Guy like Cedric McMillan, I don't think he's nailed his Olympia conditioning at all. So, it shouldn't be a factor at all. If Ian gets next to someone like, Cedric McMillan, and I don't care how good Cedric looks, he should be rewarded on his conditioning first and foremost. Obviously, they have a good amount of muscle together, but this is down. I definitely agree with you. And being able to be compared to some other guys, I think it's going to give him a lot more of an advantage too. So,
yeah,
um,
be really good.
yeah, 212, which is sweet because we got two guys in there. Obviously, Zane, who won the Toronto Pro, and then Alduri won the Vancouver. The cool thing about those two is that they won their shows pretty handily, and they were in the top. They've been top of the placings from the New York Pro. New York, Zane came second, Dura came fourth, Toronto, Zane came first, Dura came third, and then Dura comes second. First, and so forth. So, I think I was just talking about the other day. I think that those two can actually, I'm not saying surprisingly. I think those guys can actually walk in that show and do very well. And again, being compared to some of the other guys like, Ricardo Carrera, Derek Lunsford. He's phenomenal. But Ahmed Ashkenani, Sean Clare, and again, guys they can get on stage again and really show that they belong there 100%. So it's good to see those two there. And again, the Canadians are not just eking in these shows; they're winning these shows handily. I'm pretty sure Zane got first points, and so did Dura, and it's awesome to be able to get into that class, into the Olympia on first place votes, which is sweet. So,
And things are changing a little bit in the 212 too, just because some of the guys, like for example, like Jose Raymond and David Henry, like those guys have been there for a while. They're gonna start coming out of it eventually, right?
yeah,
And then the new guys like Jura and Zane, and they're gonna start moving in on them, right?
yeah.
So
Well,
things are gonna start changing in the 212, and I think this is gonna be. This is what I've heard through the grapevine, is that it's Flex's last year in the 212, which is then gonna open up that spot for whoever. And the top five is gonna start changing, so that'll be cool.
yeah. Flex is definitely done this year, and I'm pretty sure Jose is done as well too. This is Jose's last year, and I haven't heard anything really from David as it being his last year or not. But those guys have been around for a while since it started. Since the 202 class, and then 212 and up. So yeah, it's the changing of the guard for sure.
Yeah.
And it's just and that's going to be in every class too. That's why guys like us have a lot of patience. It's like some of these guys are on their way out, and they've competed a while, and then we're the next generation that's coming up to be able to we're the next generation athletes that have to take the lead and start basically passing on the torch and taking that and keep going, right? So definitely going to see. I'm excited to see this year for sure. I can't wait to see those two up there. I know a lot of the 212 competitors too, and a lot of the open guys. So it's gonna be really cool to see those guys. To see Canada finally be stacked up with some guys and killing it. That freaking pineapple! I need to get one of those.
I got some green tea in here, and I've been loving this summer drink for me is the iced green tea.
Alright. I'm on my anabolic state peach mango by Nutribolics.
Oh yeah,
Actually,
nice.
no, I love it. I can't drink. I hate water. I can't drink water. I have to mix it with BCAAs or flavor a little like water. I got these naturally, sweetened Yaz whatever things. I hate water. I just can't stand it. There's gotta be something in it. So it's gonna be BCAAs most of the time, man.
Yeah.
So take over on. We got Class of Physique, which is
Yep.
another sweet
So
class. So yeah,
classic is like one of the most exciting ones for like the fans, I think, because first of all, Chris Bumstead second place last year. That's like pretty crazy, and he's going to be, again in the top three, I'm sure.
yeah,
And then we've got now Regan, who switched down from the Open class, won his class in Classic at the New York Pro and qualified for the Olympia this year. And he's got a huge fan base, so I'm sure a lot of people are going to be rooting for him. And yeah, so I think that we'll probably have. Oh, and I forgot about Khaled.
yeah,
So Khaled's also now qualified because he won his show as well.
yeah.
So we've got three heavy hitters up in that Classic physique this year, and maybe we have three Canadians in the top five. Who knows? That'll be pretty cool.
It would be, yeah. It's.
Yeah.
I think Keller will be somewhat of a dark horse a little bit because he's not really known, and but he's like a really good, he's got a squeeze in his class, so it's not like he's an undersized classic physique guy. He's got great shape, and he can pose really well, and he's a natural bodybuilder. So I find that a lot of the guys who are bodybuilders that switch back to, or not switch back, but go down to classic, they have a really good foundation and root of the sport. Where I see most guys who just go right to that class, or change from physique, men's physique. They don't really understand it completely, as in like when it comes to posing and whatnot. So I think that's going to be really exciting to see those two. I mean, I think Chris Bumps is going to win. I just the guy's been all over the states this year. I think he's traveled I think he's been to every state this year in his off season. He's doing appearances, guest posing, whatever, right? And I think that's going to give him a lot more fuel and fire to get in the show, and it's going to be between him and Brian again. I believe. I think Regan is.
Yeah.
I think Regan is spectacular. I think he's awesome, but I think unless he gets his posing down, where he can remind the judges that he's not a bodybuilder trying to be classic, that's going to be his biggest challenge. And we talked about Cled already, but I like to see I like to see Regan and Chris up together compared to just for fun. I mean, both those guys alone, if you combine them, their following, they got 1 million followers together.
It's crazy.
It's nuts to think. Yeah,
it's kind of like apples and oranges at this point too, because Brian has his physique, Chris has his physique, Regan has his physique, Khaled has his physique, and they're all completely different.
Yeah.
I don't know. In my opinion, I like Chris because I really like I like the look of his quads, and his overall physique is like kind of just something that I've liked for a while. But then again, Regan's got some points that Chris doesn't have, and Brian's got some points that Chris doesn't have, but Chris got some points that those guys don't have. So it's like it could go either way. It's like pretty crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's like almost like last year where it's like you wouldn't be upset about either or who placed first or second with Brian and Chris, but when I think about Chris, I think honestly when the classic physique, Chris, I think to me embodies classic physique. The guy looks classic. He looks like Arnold 3.0 with his just like square chin. He's symmetrical as everything. His fucking jawline's classic, for fuck's sakes.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
I think that and his improvements he made with his back and his biceps.
Yeah.
He made the improvements he had to make to be good this year, and I think he's gonna take it handily. They're obviously gonna compare the guys. They're gonna make it awesome. They're gonna make these guys pose and pose and pose. But I think when it comes down to it, Bumstead's gonna come out on top, but we're gonna have an amazing show. I mean, three Canadians in that class, which is amazing, right?
Yeah, really good.
Yeah, so we have here's a class that we need a pep talk for Canada.
Yeah.
I was reading. I was looking at the qualified, who's qualified, and who just needs points to get in. Canadian physique, men's physique. We need to step it up because we got 0 buddies in here. We have, nobody even has enough points to even be on the point board.
No one even has close to enough points.
No, there's actually, I'm looking all the way down, and there's like 1 million competitors. We got one guy who has 3. And, men's physique. I'm not saying it's the easiest class, but anybody out there who's got nice wide shoulders, small waist, and an awesome rocking, set of abs, get your ass to working and get out there because it's. I'm not saying it's easy, but we need to. Maybe Aaron Legend needs to come out and get in these shows. That'll do some more shows this year. He was good, but we need some more guys in men's physique. So we had 0 buddies in there, unless somebody decides to show up at the Tampa and kill it, which I don't even think physique's even there this year. We have nobody there, so we'll skip that and go on to fitness. Fitness is sweet. Obviously, with Oksana Grishina retired, that leaves the door right open. But we have second place runner-up last year, Mimi Capes, is there. She's absolutely spectacular. She's amazing. We also have Riel Grabber, and then we have Allison Ether, and then Missy Farrell. Like, there's we have 4 already qualified fitness Olympia in there from Canada, which is amazing. And we got Dominique Matthews. She's got 9 points, and then that's about closest too. But unless she's going to compete again, they're going to take the top 3 in places because these have less shows. These have 25 less fitness division. So Dominique Matthews could qualify if she, by points, depending. So we might have 5 in there, which is awesome. But just from last year, watching Mimi Capes last year, if she brings up fire like she did last year, she can be one of the girls that walks away with it this year. She's a runner-up, and Oksana Grishina's not there, so I'm not really by default that she's the one that should win. But let's be serious, you're the runner-up. We're expecting her to do some really good things, and I think she can. Just with her power and her routines are very, very entertaining and very strong. She's very comparable to Oksana Grishina because she has a lot of power to be able to do a lot of the power moves, and and her routine's always very entertaining. So I think that's going to be another exciting class.
It's a pretty high class overall. Like you look at these girls like doing their routines and it looks flawless, but like think about how much they have to practice that. Like that is insanity. Like first of all, I wouldn't even be able to do like a 1-arm push-up, and they're just doing like things all over the stage, like backflips and stuff, like crazy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's on a stage, and there's no like you do gymnastics, you at least got the springboard. This is like a regular ass stage, hard. These girls do some crazy stuff, and I just think how much time do you really have to practice this over and over again and not mess up or like fall on your face or break something, you know what I mean? So, and I would say fitness is the most athletic, the truest athletic division in bodybuilding, hands down. Like you can't even compare. That is basically gymnastics.
For sure, and even above that, it's like they have so much pressure on them because if they make one mistake, that's going to cost them everything.
Yeah, and they're dieting too, so it's like. You gotta diet and to be in depleted state while you're, doing all this stuff. Like, we're kind of like tired after just doing those 7 poses. These girls gotta do like a 1.5 minute, 2-minute routine, depleted, dry, whatever else, so.
Yeah, and even if let's say you stumble in one of your poses, it's not gonna cost you the show. But if they stumbled in one of their moves there, it probably would cost them the show. And that's some crazy pressure to have to deal with. Yeah. So I love watching that. It's good.
That's the first thing actually. Before I even watched bodybuilding, I remember they always would have fitness on TV, like every once in a while, I think on ESPN or something like that back in the day. Yeah. And I remember just watching it and being like, "Whoa, it's crazy! These girls doing some." I just thought it was regular gymnastics. I didn't know it was, fitness or whatever. But it was. That's probably one of the first things like bodybuilding divisions I ever really actually saw. But again, we got a stacked lineup of Canadians going down there that will do some damage, which is awesome. Next on the list we have bikini. So bikini is basically all points. So there's some girls that are already qualified, but again, points. So you can take that. You can find some names in here. I know there's Jen Dory is doing, I think, the Tampa
Yeah.
this weekend. If she wins, that's 20 points she gets. Not 20, sorry. She get about, I think, 18. But she's right
Yeah.
there. She's right there. We have another Canadian, Laura Lee Chapados. And yeah, those are the closest ones there. Remember, Silva's top 20 in points. So there's just going down the list. We have Laura Lee Chapados. We also have here we are. Jen Dory, she's at 13 points. And yeah, that's about it. That's all we have right now.
No one from Canada is qualified as of now.
As of now, yeah, they have to make it in there. But again, it's all about points. And right now, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15. You got 15 girls already placed. So you got to grab. So there's 5 more that are getting up there. So we could see those 2 Canadians in there. And not to say they don't belong because they win a show, but Jen Dory's been close. She was second place against Ashley Catswater at the Vancouver Pro. She came 4th at a stack show with Ashley Catswater, Francesca Loren, and Indiana Polina, and she came 4th. So this is like a 1-year pro that's going in and just making some heavy moves this year. So and Laura Lee, I think, just won a pro card last year too at the IFBB, the older division that we had before the natural one. The CBB
Nice.
thing, yeah. We'll see off that, but yeah, those girls are close to being qualified. Yeah.
Well, we only have one girl that's qualified for a figure right now. It's Martina Yepakova.
Yeah.
She's gonna be good. Like, she's always good. It would be cool if we had a couple more in there, but
yeah,
it's getting dominated by the USA right now.
Well, so. Melissa's doing the show this weekend, so.
Oh yeah, that's right.
She'll be. I think she'll qualify. She'll definitely qualify with points. I'm not even thinking she will.
She's close. Yeah, she is really close.
She's right up there. She's at. She's at 16 points. There's 3 other girls above her, and she's competing this weekend. So, and Tampa's a tier 3 show, so she gets first place. She's in. She gets second place. She's in. So. She's going to be in, and when she's in, the new deemed Canadian royal family, Chris, Ian, and Melissa, will all be at the Olympia this year, that's freaking cool.
That's pretty nuts, eh?
Yeah, like that whole family is a pretty blessed family, which is pretty sweet. So I'll be excited. To watch all 3 of them up there. But we have all these cool, unique little, stories that around Canada of different competitors and whatnot, but it's cool to see a lot of the most talked about athletes right now in the IFBB are Canadians. Chris Bumstead, Regan Grimes, Melissa, Ian, Zane Watson, now Ahmed, Aldura. So it's not like these guys are just coming in. Now, before we compete, go to show, you hear about some of the top level guys, but for the majority of it, these guys are all going in, and they're heavily talked about. They're very popular, and you're just going to see a really cool story happen in finishing this year, in the the peak of the season, which being the Olympia. So that's gonna be sweet. Yeah, women's physique. Last but not least, because there's no bodybuilding. Kapolina, she qualified. At the Toronto, and actually, hold on, I'm gonna bring up this list again. And then Elenina, she's qualified as well. She's almost qualified. She's about 2nd in points, so she's pretty close. Let me bring it up here. Sorry, women's physique. She is about a few points away. So right now we have Alyssa Copolino, and then we have Eleonora Dobrinina. So she's got 15 points. I don't know if she'll get it or not because fitness. I mean, women's physique has 25 less shows. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And right now it's looking like that whole list is there's about 25 there now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah, it's a pretty big list actually.
There's 23 right now that are already qualified. So you're looking at either 25 or 20. So it's you're about 2 off or you're over. So you're about 2 off right now. So I don't know if she'll get it or not, but we still got one, which is awesome. And and that's good enough for me, to be honest. I mean, we haven't seen this in a long time. I don't know the last time. Maybe we're both wrong. We haven't seen it that much, but I think this is almost the first of seeing this many Canadian athletes in very integral roles going into the Olympia with a combination of great placings, popularity, and across not just in Canada but in the States, in the world. To be honest, this is the IFBB, so it's really exciting to see Canada finally kind of moving up. And like I said, we've been talking about this from the start. I think this is the beginning of just seeing Canadians constantly being in a position to do well, and not going to shows anymore. You see one Canadian in bodybuilding, one Canadian in bikini, one Canadian. You're seeing multiple Canadians going to the show, and multiple Canadians are going to do well.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
And maybe we'll be able to earn ourselves a place on the IFBBPro.com Olympia qualification series little flag thing they have here.
Yeah. Yeah. How many years do you give yourself till you get to Olympia?
I'm saying 2022.
2022?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say
that's a badass number.
2022 is pretty dope. I'm gonna say 2020.
Nice.
I'm gonna give myself 2020. So
yeah,
we'll see if that happens. You gotta make it happen.
You have to make it happen.
Yeah. Well, that's what we got today, guys. More to come. A lot more to come. Like I said, I've been busy with baby building, and when the baby's here, a lot more. I'll be adding another addition to Maple Leaf Muscle. Maybe a little mascot. Probably not. I don't ever want to see her body build. That'll be the day. That'll be my nightmare. Is when she's like, "Daddy, can I do my first show?" And I'm like, "Not a chance."
Yeah.
No, you're not. No.
No, that'll be a nightmare for sure.
You can play soccer or volleyball or dance or something else, but you're not bodybuilding. No way. And when she gets Instagram, I'm gonna lose my mind. I didn't want to know what Instagram will be like by then. Like, oh.
Man, I wish you the best, because I'd be scared to have a kid in this day and age. It's just so people are way too savage on social media, man. Like,
oh my God, savage. Yo, before we leave, and I saw an article about people. They're trying to make an argument that pedophiles are the same as transgenders.
Wow.
They don't know their sexual orientation, or like they can't help themselves. I'm like, yo, you look at my daughter wrong, I'm shooting you in the head. Serious.
Yeah.
Don't bring that mess around me. Like, this world's mess.
That's why things are getting weirder. Getting to the point where you can't really argue about things like this, because then people just get offended, and you're like, all right, like, I'm out. Like.
Yeah. Anyway, so thanks for stopping by. Again, at Maple Leaf Muscle. This is our Canadian Olympia preview. We'll be back again each week with more and more updates with all our Canadian athletes that are competing. This is Johnny Shreve, IFBB Pro. Follow me at all my social media. Instagram is johnny.shreve. YouTube is just Johnny Shreve. And my Facebook is Johnny Shreve again. So, and then obviously follow my boy Robin Strand at...
Yeah, you can find me at Strand Strong on Instagram. You can find me on YouTube at Robin Strand.
Perfect. And until next time, I'm going to grab me a double-double, and I'll be out.
Peace out, Canada.
All right. Peace.